Our fourth study is titled Making Sense of Making Special, Art and Intimacy in Musical Lives and Educational Practice by Lori Custodero. Custodero reviews a work by the author Deseniak titled Art and Intimacy, How the Arts Began. I want to make it clear that Custodero is reviewing research completed by Deseniak. Custodero shares that in her review of the research compiled by Deseniak, belonging is a foundational element found in the effective music classroom. She also relates the idea that artistic activity and discovery are a product of the socio-emotional foundation for shared understanding, or we can call it mutuality, between teacher and student and between the students themselves. Let me say that one more time because this is really at the crux of my research. She also relates the idea that artistic activity and discovery are a product of the socio-emotional foundation for shared understanding, or we can call it mutuality, between teacher and student and between the students themselves. So, what Custodero has realized from her research is really what I've believed for quite some time now, and that is that at the root of the effective emotional and social climate of the music room is the positive and dynamic relationship between teacher and student. Custodero states that we need to be aware of and be ready to respond to cues from our students that signify musical activities and ideas that are relevant and compelling, or conversely, irrelevant and disengaging. This doesn't mean that our music curriculum should be constructed around the latest musical fads and pop culture. It just means that whatever type of music activity we are sharing with the kids, it needs to be presented in a way that's compelling and relevant. Watch the faces of your better music students. They are often very telling. Our fifth and final research study is titled Identities of Music Teachers in Australia, a Pilot Study by Dr. Scott D. Harrison of Griffith University. Dr. Griffith notes at the beginning of his study that a huge body of research already exists that investigates the skills, attributes, and qualities of music teachers. Of course, the purpose of these studies is to enhance student learning by making teachers more proficient. He also notes that one of the most extensive projects recently has been the Teacher Identity in Music Education Project, or abbreviated TIME, T-I-M-E. In his research, the TIME project found that the perceptions of the required skills for good music teachers had changed. The TIME project also found that as pre-service music teachers got jobs and moved into the workforce, there was an increased emphasis on communication and interpersonal skills rather than on merely music performance skills. I won't go into too much detail because there's a lot of information here. But Dr. Harrison's research structure basically consisted of two studies, one with pre-service teachers and the other with experienced teachers. Questionnaires were sent out via email, and the teachers filled out these questionnaires, responded to them, and then Dr. Harrison collected the information and analyzed it. The important attributes for music teachers to possess were classified into the following two categories. First, knowledge and skills, and then second, personal attributes. The results of Study 1 are as follows. In Study 1, remember, was conducted with the pre-service music students. Okay, in the knowledge and skills category, 4 areas stood out in the responses. They were the knowledge of content first, then pedagogy, then repertoire, and then curriculum documents. In the attributes category, student-teacher respondents gave the highest response to teachers who were able to make music fun and enjoyable. Along with that was the capacity to motivate, encourage, and or instill a love for music in their students. And then thirdly, flexibility and patience were also viewed as very important attributes. Okay, let's move on to Study 2. Now, in Study 2, in the category of knowledge and skills, experienced teachers found these to be most important. Now, there's a long list here, but I'm just going to highlight what I feel are the most important results. Here we go. A high level of interpersonal skills, ability to communicate in oral and written form with students, colleagues, parents, and administrators, multitasking, and human resource management skills, including diplomacy and behavior management strategies. Other skills that were found important were skills in and appreciation for music from a wide variety of genres, including popular styles, high level of content knowledge and skills, musical arranging skills, which I find very interesting. I've had to do a lot of arranging myself, showing proficiency at some aspect of practical music making as a model and for motivation, and being able to perform proficiently on a main instrument. In the attributes category, these were found to be very important by these experienced music teachers. Number 1, fun and friendly. Next, enthusiasm and passion for imparting subject matter. Being encouraging and inclusive. Honesty. Lifelong love of the arts and music. Be able to relate to young people and like working with them. And then lastly, possession of leadership qualities. Just to note, the emphasis on fun, enthusiasm, and passion was the most statistically significant response from these experienced music teachers. In examining both of these studies, Harrison was able to find some common elements found by the pre-service and the experienced teachers to be of significance, and they are knowledge of content, pedagogy, repertoire, and curriculum documents, management skills, incorporating organization, behavior management, time management, and human resource management, skills in managing technology, possession of a range of teaching styles, reflective skills for self-evaluation and improvement, practical music skills in a variety of genres and including sight reading, singing, conducting, composition, and arrangement, capacity to motivate, inspire, and encourage, connection with students as people. Okay, now the main reason I wanted to look at this study is I wanted to see if relational pedagogy was important, or the relationship between teacher and student. And we find that it, even though it's at the bottom of the list here in his conclusion section, we find that it is notable and it is important.